Hi, Jim Peters with Jim Peters Golf Lessons. Let's talk about positioning the feet. This is very subtle, but it has a dramatic effect in what can happen in your golf swing. Let's start with the traditional for a good player, what will happen, because there are no absolutes in this. It's what do you need to make your golf swing work the best for how your body works. Not everybody's as good as an elite athlete. Most people, because they want to set up square, they set up, no matter how they stand, some people stand a little flared. I have pigeon-toed people who come to me, but most people, because they know they want to set up square, they set their feet up square. Now, how your foot is set up determines how far your knee can go, which determines how far your hip can work, and so good or bad things can happen in there. Let's talk about this foot. If it's square, that means my knee can only go this far, which means my hips can only go this far, and I'm right now at about 40 degrees of hip turn. That would be pretty good for an elite player's swing. The only way I can get more hip turn is to let that knee go, which I don't want to do, and I see people who want to turn more, but they have to do that. So if you need more turn with your hips, which is a big help in getting on plane, maybe you want to flare the right foot. Then I can really turn my hips. This is probably 60, 70 degrees of hip turn. And then it would be easier to come from the inside for a person of a little more advanced age. You'll get more bang for your buck swinging on plane than you will for anything else, because a club on plane squares itself. If I can get a square club face, all I've got to do is learn how to find the center and find the bottom correctly. The left foot, again, if you start square, like many people do, and I want to turn violently and come in at impact, all of a sudden I'm blocked. And what I see is, as people come through, I watch this foot spin like this. And if this is spinning at this point in the golf swing, imagine how difficult it's going to be to find the center, find square, find the bottom. So that's why people are inconsistent. So what most people should do is flare this left foot. Now, right now I look like Tiger Woods and Ben Hogan. Rear foot square, lead foot flared. That inhibits my hip turn going back. I can coil my shoulders against my hips, so I've got stored power. With this foot flared, that knee is more free to rotate. The hips are more free to rotate. I can transfer my weight, freewheel my hips initially in the downswing, and get a lot of power going that way. So, now what I want you to do is figure out what works for you. Don't be afraid to experiment with different foot positions. Don't be afraid to exaggerate, because you need to learn to feel differences. What's too much, what's too little. It's like the porridge that's too hot and too cold. We've got to find what's just right for us. But generally, most people will be square to semi-square with the rear foot, a decent flare with the left foot, get a good coil going. This really gets this going, allows you to stabilize coming through so I don't have a spin, and through like that. So foot position, while subtle, is very important in helping us make consistent, more consistent contact with the ball, and that's what everybody wants.